Hello, everybody. We're here on day 2 in the Abzena booth with my new friend, John Gill with Abzena. You're also new to the organization.
Absolutely, yes.
So we're going to talk about next-gen things.
Sure.
Because we're all new. So let's talk about new stuff.
Best friends.
Best friends. And cell line development, which is
Yes.
an important theme for this year for Abzena here at Bio 2026.
Absolutely.
So first off, just to kind of get to know you, what's your background, John?
I am a bench scientist by trade, so I've been in the industry for 30 years, largely in cell culture, cell line development.
Yeah.
I briefly dabble in the marketing and the business development activities, but it's really just to be a tech guy, to come in here and talk science.
Yeah.
Fun.
Which I think a lot of people do appreciate.
Yeah.
And do you have a lot of folks that you've been connecting with here at Bio?
Yeah, it's been busy thus far. All of the pre-work and the conversations that we had even leading up to it.
Yeah.
So there's conversations that we're having today that we've been having for a week now, so it's really good.
Okay, cool. All right, well, being that you're new and you wanted to go off script, I'm going to go off script for a second. I want to know what your impression of Abzena was before you joined the organization. What did you think about the organization at that time?
Wow, so that's a challenging one to have me on mic for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to be honest, I didn't have a lot of familiarity with it. So,
Yeah.
I came from Gilead, where I was head of cell line development there, and when we were doing some of the benchmarking, it wasn't first a list, top of mind. We were aware that they are around.
Yeah.
So to be completely frank, it was something that or me personally, it was a good adventure, a good introduction, a fortuitous find for me, where I wish we kind of met earlier.
So what do you think Abzena was known for before you joined? What would you have said that it would be its top calling card?
It was an opportunity for us, in terms of the back of my mind, that there was a local provider.
Yeah.
So there was someone that was doing end-to-end services in the US.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily from a Biosafety Act idea, but it was the tech transfers of the conversations were local, right? They were easier conversations to have, whether it was a FaceTime, email, everything was happening right now.
Right.
So, it's certainly a positive thing.
So now that you're inside the club, what do you want Abzena to be known for now?
An opportunity to say, hey, we're here, and for the people like myself, 6-8 weeks ago, we weren't quite as familiar. We're doing really good science. It's a very tenured, experienced team, especially the folks out in Cambridge, UK.
Yep.
The cell line, the discovery folks have been doing this a long time, and they're
successful at it.
They're successful at it, but again, I'm a bench scientist by trade. I have those conversations with them where I'm learning a lot. It's exciting to be in a new organization, trying to communicate those activities that they're doing and realizing, hey, they're really kind of good at it.
Yeah. So you're here going to be representing the cell line development work, correct?
Yeah.
And I think that falls under the umbrella of something that you guys have termed AbSelect and AbSelect Pro. I think I got that correct?
Yeah, that's the trade name for the cell line development activities.
Exactly,
for sure.
Exactly. And so there are some stats that are already coming out as far as its efficiency. And so talk to us a little bit about what that's offering right now.
Yeah, so I think what we're trying to communicate here at Bio is that end-to-end service. So how we're integrating the cell line development through your GMP manufacturing. So having it under one roof allows a lot of those gaps, those tech transfer gaps in processes, to cut a tremendous amount of time. So when you're going from sequence to IND, a lot of the clients that are coming to us, how long, how many months?
Yeah.
And us to be able to say, well, if you're doing things within our umbrella and under this roof, it's cutting 25%, it's cutting months off of this journey. And it's really been a good opportunity because folks have just been asking, how fast, how fast, how fast?
Why is that always the theme? Isn't there a threshold at some point, or they just all want it tomorrow, and is that even realistic?
There is a very dangerous threshold there.
Right.
Between, yes, you can do it faster, but what are the risks?
Sure.
And I think you can provide those faster timelines as long as you properly communicate those risks and that the client is aware and in alignment with,
So getting onto that thread for a second, what's allowing that kind of speed? So what's allowing us to do it at a faster rate and
within
do it
Abzena?
safely? Yeah, within Abzena, sure.
It's relying on the product quality. I'll go and I'll say that phrase to you here, off camera, on camera. Product quality is really consistent from the beginning.
Yeah.
So what that allows you to do is generate material to start any critical path activities much earlier.
Yeah.
So if you're not waiting on cell line, I've been doing cell line for 30 years and I've been on the critical path for 29 of them. So being able to rely on some of those early materials to get formulation work started, to get analytical method development started, they're not all sitting there twiddling their thumbs waiting for my team to deliver either the cell line or harvest to start their activities.
Yeah.
So for us to be able to do that very early in the process and get every part of the organization rolling, it makes it easier for cell line, right? So they're ready for the analytical components of it.
Yeah.
So the assays are ready to choose the right clone. But we're able to do the tech transfers almost, it's unusual for the processes to be ready for the cell line, then the cell line be the opposite.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the benefit and the change is really stitching those pieces together from the early stage.
Okay. So let's think for a second. Your skin in the game. So with skin in the game.
All right.
So with Abzena, there's no royalties, right?
Yeah.
And so you actually do not have to have any skin in the game after these, which is important. So they come to you and they say speed, but it's also how much you're going to own in this. And you're saying, no, there is no ownership in any of this.
It's a challenging conversation to have with clients, right? Because you want them to stay to end from the beginning to the end,
right?
But we're providing them that freedom to jump.
Yeah.
We have confidence in the service, right? And if we give them flexibility in a product that is, I think, both tailored for what they need, effective cost of goods, and we're saving them on the timeline, why not stay?
Yeah.
Right? And then to have not a paper trail or a royalty hanging over your head for the rest of your clinical development or commercial is really valuable.
Sure.
It was part of when I'm doing due diligence over my career, certainly a checkbox. What's the licensing? What's the royalties?
Yeah.
And the fact that there aren't royalties here is a huge benefit.
You guys are making your investments in this year over year.
Yeah.
And I think even recently there have been some additional improvements in the Ab Select. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I believe that's following into the category of knockout, KO, and knockout plus. Can you talk about that?
Oh, yeah. So we do have a proprietary CHO K1 cell line, but we do in-license the Revity cell line as well. So that gives us a GS knockout cell line capability. And then there's an ADCC value as well. So it's, it gives flexibility depending on what kind of half-life the client is looking for, what their molecule design is.
Sure.
So we have both the cell line from a host perspective, but also the entire processing from your scale-up in GMP manufacturing design from the beginning. So that flexibility, that royalty-free opportunity exists across all those platforms.
Okay.
It's smooth.
This is pushing my understanding of some of the science here, but you guys generate high-quality, stable pool jumps. Is that right? Okay. So that's allowing for organizations to go about the work in parallel tracks.
Yeah, so that's what
Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
I have a background in music. How would I even know this?
No. Dominating the science.
Talk about how you can go into, it would be like analytics and formulation and anything else that might be like downstream. So how is that possible? How can we work?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, I think, earlier, where we have that confidence in the product quality. When we generate the stable pool, that's in 3 weeks from the initiation of the program. So
it feels fast.
Yeah, so it feels fast. We're doing the vector construction and generating that stable pool with the product quality that's consistent. The clones that we'll get at the end of our whole process are the same. From what our glycosylation looks like, what our aggregation looks like, whether it's a significant proportion of the material being a heterodimer bispecific that you want. So having that earlier with that quality really allows all of those sub-functions you're talking about, analytical formulation, to not just start, but have representative material so that there's maybe one confirmational step at the end, once they have the final clone, to say, oh yeah, this works.
Which allows everybody to move a lot faster.
Yeah, go a lot faster.
Yeah.
That's the time saver right there.
So you've steeped your career in cells for 29 years, you said.
Yeah.
How long have you been coming to Bio?
This is my first time at Bio.
Oh, it's your first time as well?
Yeah, it's my first time at Bio.
Okay.
So all of my career...
Because you've really been looking like you've been bench level for a while?
Yeah, so I've been leading technical organizations, so most of the conversations or the conferences where I presented or just attended have
very technical.
Very technical.
Yep.
Going to the talks, learning what the new science is.
Yeah.
And that's the opportunity that I think bringing to Abzena is, okay, I know what you do from a platform, it's very good. How about we try this? What's next?
You're the hype man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, hype man for cell line development. Yeah. It sounds like it's a perfect fit. That's great. So what are you looking forward to this year at Bio?
For me, it is the introduction to this environment.
Okay.
This is a completely new opportunity, and it's connecting the clients that, like myself, one of my time in previous life, that weren't quite familiar, to say, hey, not only are we good, but we benchmark quite well against the other players. To go back to that royalty question, there aren't.
Yeah.
Right? So you're saving quite a bit on the overall cost of your program through your commercial.
Yeah.
But your cost of goods are tighter, our product quality are right there in line. So it's a win-win-win. So it's my job, just like you said, a hype man. Run around here and just throw my badge around and say, hey.
So when you think about what you're excited about next, either what the clients are working on,
U.S. national team.
the U.S. national team, that too.
Yeah.
Like, what are you excited about? Like, for the client side of the work that's going on in AOCs, ADCs, what like, is there anything out there that you're just really excited about where the science itself is going?
Number of new modalities coming in. It's not just a monoclonal antibody or a bispecific.
Okay.
So some of these new Franken molecules that are coming in.
Frankenmolecules.com.
Yeah, they're just, yeah. If I could bring that to life, that would be amazing. But watching that a tenured team in Cambridge that I mentioned bring these to a level that's manufacturable. Well, I think a lot of organizations can make it, but in low titer or inconsistently. But putting that team in Cambridge on some of these novel molecules and then looking to apply the chemistry from an ADC perspective, it's kind of fun to watch.
That's cool.
Yeah, when I'm not here, it's just science geek, sticking my head into all the different sub-team meetings and learning what we're doing.
All right, I'll switch to the critical side for a minute and then switch back to positivity. But is there any friction points that you think right now that we're having to face as an industry or even in your work in the cell line development space?
It's really convincing some of the investors, I think, to have confidence in these molecules. Like I said, they're Franken.
Yeah.
So you talk to some high-level private equity firms, and they don't quite understand how this could be commerciable. You know, how you can make this something that we can bring to market. And by showing some very early product quality data and some manufacturability, we're like, yeah, not only do we believe in your molecule, like I know you do as the sponsor, but we can make it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's convincing the private equity, whoever's going to be financing some of the small companies that are coming to us to put some skin in the game.
Yeah.
And get some of these molecules, some of these treatments to patients as quickly as possible.
So, okay, great. And then I wanted to ask, like, the last question, who would you love to meet here at Bio? It's a specific kind of client, specific kind of organization working in a particular kind of modality.
Whoa, that's a great question, and you stumped me. It's hard to stump me. I'm already, it's day 2, not even halfway through, and I've talked to very small startup companies. I think they're the ones that get me going because it's typically a different science.
Yeah. And they're trying things.
And and what I like is that they're not afraid to fail.
Yeah.
And then it's my job to help fix it.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that opportunity to jump in with these very early programs that they have an idea of, like, we have this one asset and we want to go as quickly as possible. Do you think it'll work? Yeah. And then having, my time and then parsing it out to the individual scientists and teams, and they believe in it too. Yeah, we can do this. That part I like.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're looking for a hype man, you got it in John here at Abzena. Hype man John. Yeah. Hype man John. This is great. So I'm excited that this is your first year at Bio.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this video and you're still at Bio, come over to the Abzena booth and check out Hype man John. Yep. If you're going to talk cell line development, he lives it absolutely through and through. It is literally part of his DNA. And we'll try not to be too punny today. Sorry. But great to see you. Great to meet you today. And if people want to find you online, I'm sure they're going to find you on LinkedIn as well. So just John Gill. We'll put it up on screen.
Yeah.
And come over to the Abzena booth and say hi. He's new to the organization, but you can see just getting a taste of what it's like to work with John. It's very exciting.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Absolutely.
Very nice to meet you, man. Have a great show. Thank you.